The key elements to the Atlas programme are really in themes. One of the themes is a framework, first of all, of a well-being approach to all behaviours. And we're not just talking about negative, challenging behaviours, we're talking about learning. So a well-being framework is one of the key elements. Then there is a focus on autism itself from a developmental perspective. We've often noticed that individuals forget developmental difference. We live in a world where, particularly in the disabilities field, people don't want to talk about differences, they want to talk about similarities. But actually there are developmental milestones that we see in the adults and children that we support that actually make sense in understanding the person. Key to the lot is actually a focus on stress. And the model that we espouse is one of the oldest models in health psychology. And the reason why we chose that model is because it talks about stress and coping. In fact, our mantra is you never talk about stress unless you talk about coping. It's coping responses that develop resilience. It's coping responses that develop people's strategies to deal with these stresses in their lives. The final element is also around the service user voice, as we would call it, the voice of the people with autism. So in each programme, we focus very much on speakers who have a diagnosis, but are a little bit different. We don't want someone who's the stereotype of autism because there is no stereotype. So when you combine all those elements together, really what we can sum it all up as is we're trying to provide a stress management overall framework to supporting people. And within that stress management framework is very much a strong perspective on understanding the person from their perspective.